Hi everyone, welcome to this video which is from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Now I have been asked to do a page from this book with a background. Now I thought that we would start on this page and do the background behind here, nice and small and simple. Obviously there's all this, could do a background like I've done over here where I left the outside blank white and did this in black, and I've done a sort of galaxy background. There's no video for this one. It's my first attempt. I've got nicer galaxy backgrounds and there is a video for a galaxy background, but that was that one. We're going to keep this one in a very different look to that page. We might do black on the swirls eventually, but I'm not going to get that far. I'm just going to do the circle. But I thought I would show you how I did it in my previous book. I really liked what I did. So I did a orange to yellow. This was done with polychromos. So I used a sort of the darkest orange to start with, just a little bit, and then went over it with the next one. I just worked through the tin, getting lighter and lighter as we went, to try and show off this teapot in the middle with a lighter circle around it. We're going to do a different type of background on this one because I don't want both my books to look identical. You can see how different that page is to the one I did before as well. So but I thought I would show you that just so you have an idea of what we could do. But we're going to be using Castle Arts. I did the last one with polychromos. Now the book is near the end, it's quite flat. I'm actually going to use this copy of Ivy underneath, so I've got something to lean on. I think that'll make it easy. You can use any book underneath. You might not want to use a colouring book, you might want to use a different book, but it's quite handy when it's the same size. I'm using my Castle Arts, so we're going to start with a dark blue and work through to a lighter blue. So we're going to do a very similar technique, but we're just going to use blues instead of the orange to yellow. I just thought it would be a little bit different. So I'm going to start with the sort of darkest blue, which in this set, this is the soft touch set and it's the 72 set. And the Prussian blue is my darkest. This obviously needs a sharpen. And oh, there's my sharpener. It's decided to fall over. I don't know if it needs emptying. We'll see. We'll see how we go. I find the wood is quite splintery. It's quite funny because some of them, like this one here, the wood is really nice and smooth, but this one is really splintery and it makes it awkward to sharpen, I find. But with the gold set, we don't get that splintery wood, which I think is, for me, is the main difference between them. So I want a really dark layer on the edge, and then I'm going to just lighten it up as I go towards the centre like that. And the key with this is to do the same on every bit, so we can try to get the colour looking even through. So if we go around here, there's no edge here. Got our flower, got our leaf, so only here do we get to our next bit of edge. Just realising you could probably do with being a bit closer. There you are. So here. So again, lots of layers near the outside of the circle there. Now if you have a tendency to go out of the lines like me, then you could do this circle in a pen so that you hide it if you go out the lines. So could do it in a, I'm thinking gold, silver pens, something like that, pink pen, you know, it's an idea. I may not do that. I haven't really planned anything for this page. I'm pretty sure that should be blue. I just thought about this background. That's all I planned. So we'll just see how it develops. I will, as I say, I probably won't do the whole page with you, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now I find with these Castle Arts, they do behave better if they're sharp, but I like a sharp pencil, so maybe it's me. Now I'm trying to just get this out of the edge, roughly the distance of that. It doesn't have to be exactly exact, but you know, it's nice if it's similar. And we're sort of fading it as we go, like that. I think we're nearly there. And then we go back on around and think about here, look, I just pop a little bit in there, but it's got to be a lighter bit, yeah, and a bit here, maybe here, down here, but here we need a more a darker layer and take that out, in fact all of that probably, and then we've got this bit. And what I do is I just layer this up where it's nearer to the line. That's leaf, I think that's nearly it. I might just pop a little bit in there and there and there and here, just the faintest bit. I think we're done. So that's our first colour. So as I say, that was the Prussian blue. Now yes, I need to move in this direction away from, I'm not sure the ultramarine is a good choice. I'm going to move on to the indigo light. And being a little bit careful with these because some of them are a bit purpley, and purpley blues isn't what I want for this page. They're beautiful, it's just not what I'm looking for. So here's our indigo light. I think this is a slightly lighter colour than what we've got here. I'm going to go over the top of what I've done already. I'm not pressing too hard at the moment. I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to go and sharpen this on my better sharpener next door. Hold on a minute. Right, I am back. I've got a nice sharp pencil now. I used my what's it called, Derwent Super Point Mini, which is a great sharpener. All my sharpeners have got blunt leads in it. Blunt blades in at the minute. It's I got 2 spares, so I need to swap them, but I'm waiting for some more to arrive. I did write to Staedtler and say, can I buy some spares? And they said they would send me some, but I had to sign a disclaimer to say any injury from changing the lead I would take full responsibility for, which is absolutely fair enough. Because obviously, you know, I have cut myself changing a blade. I had considered doing a how-to video and showing you how to do it, but I decided that I didn't want to be responsible for everybody cutting their fingers off. So I thought, no, if you are prone to be a little bit clumsy or cut yourself on things, I would just buy a new sharpener. I wouldn't change the blades. But my husband does it for me normally because I cannot be trusted. So this is still quite a dark shade actually. I'm just applying it in a slightly lighter layer. But we'll get onto a few nicer, brighter, well, not that these aren't nice, but more jolly and sky-like blues in a minute. But I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just extending the colour that we've got up around the page. Now it takes a bit of patience to do this because you're layering your colours. You don't want to rush. And just trying to measure that a little bit. I'm going to measure it on my pencil. We get to about to the 0. I'm just seeing if we need to, yeah, we need to take that out a little bit. You could use a ruler. I do have one in here, but or you can use your eye. My eyes aren't brilliant at judging this sort of thing, which is hence why I'm just sort of measuring it. I think we need a bit more there. Yeah, that's about right. I'll just bring that out just a tad so it's level with that bit. It's easier when you're doing it in a circle without lots of bits and pieces, but that's all Johanna, isn't it? Lovely bits and pieces. We're on a sky blue now, and again I'm going to start by going over the top of what I've done already, and it just helps it all to blend together, and then we'll bring that colour out. We've got 2 more shades, so I'm tempted to come quite far out with this one, as it's, you know, we're doing a sky and this is our sky blue, so it feels like it should be the sort of dominant colour. It's up to you. Okay. Now if you're finding they don't blend together well, you can use a blender. I'm not sure which brand of blender works best with Castle. They don't have their own. If you're using a different brand of pencil, then the one that goes with your pencil is probably the best. Now I find the Derwent blender is brilliant with Derwent pencils, but when I use it with, say, my polys, it makes them go a bit yellowy. There's a tint to the blending, whatever it is. But when they're on Derwent pencils, they look great. So I tend to use my Prisma or my Caran d'Ache blenders more with other brands. Both are very good. Caran d'Ache doesn't work with some brands of pencil at all. It's so strange. So I used to have a Lyra Splendor blender and it didn't work with any of my pencils. I don't know what I did with it. I got rid of it. I passed it on to somebody or put it in the... I don't know what I did with it. I gave it away to somebody or somewhere. It just didn't work. And I guess it works with Lyra pencils, which I've never had any of. Oh, actually, I think I've got one. Maybe. But it just, yeah, it didn't work. And I was like, what is this? It's just rubbish. But then I had the Caran d'Ache one, and it didn't work with some brands of pencils either. So I'm like, ah. So obviously some blenders only work with certain pencils. Now I'm assuming there's probably a wax oil thing going on. You know, all pencils have a mix of wax and oil, but some have more than others of one or the other. And the ones that maybe the waxier pencils need a waxier blender or something, I don't know. But it's quite telling, because I remember Johanna Basford trying out a Caran d'Ache blender on a live, and she couldn't get it to work, and she just thought it was rubbish for the money. Which, yeah, if it doesn't work, it really is. But as I say, it works really well on certain brands, but on some brands it just doesn't seem to work at all. Whereas the Prisma blender I found works on everything, and you can get them in the UK. As well as obviously in the US, where Prisma is the thing and easy to find. Now in the UK, Prismas are trickier to find. You can get the blenders on Amazon, but you can also get them from where I get them, which is Coloured Pencil Shop. She's brilliant. Now we're getting to the point where I'm sort of thinking we need to come in towards the centre, and we want to find the centre, which makes it slightly tricky. So I'm going to grab my ruler. You won't be able to see the numbers are really worn. I'm just going to measure across the centre as best I can and try and work out where halfway is. As I say, my ruler the numbers are worn off. This is one of my children had in their pencil case. It's about 11 roughly, so we want to look for about 5.5. So this is dead centre. So that's fine. That's all I really need to check. Yeah, my children had that in a pencil case, Cerulean Blue Light. And now I'm not going to go all the way back with this one, but I'm going to tidy up the previous layer of colour. You can go back over all of it if you think that it needs blending around a bit better. But I'm going to really try and we're going to get a circle of this now. So I'm going to do quite a hard layer all the way around the edge, and then we'll fade it towards the middle in a minute. But yeah, they need good rulers for school. They're doing A-level maths. Although I think they told me they don't do any geometry, they don't do measuring and things like that. I know they do bits of trigonometry and stuff, and I always thought that was geometry, but maybe they don't have to do the measuring and stuff. You know, they just do all the complex equations and things, which they seem to enjoy. I think the satisfaction of getting a question right when you've spent half an hour working on it or whatever is quite amazing, I can imagine. But I'm afraid I probably would go a bit mad. But anyway, they seem to enjoy it. They're doing very well as well. They're working hard, doing all their homework. This bit doesn't look well blended, so I'm going back to the edge with that one bit, which is good. I'm keeping on top of everything. They say in college, because they left school, some children stay on at school to do their A-levels, and they their school didn't offer that facility, so they left and they've gone to what's called a sixth form college, which is for 16 to 18-year-olds mainly. They do a few other ages. And we're going to bring this in now and try and fade it towards the middle like that. Anyway, most of the children there are their age, which is quite interesting for them, quite different. You have the little ones like you do when you're in school. Hang on, I've just got to blow my nose, sorry. But they say the staff don't really care whether you do well or not. In a school there's a lot of pressure to do well, but in the college they reckon the teachers just don't care. They don't have a lot of authority. In schools they give you detentions and things, but in college you only have to be there if you've got a class, so they don't really make you stay in after school or anything like that if you don't do your work. They tell you off. Some of them care more than others. Some of, and they get to know them. The class numbers are small, which is nice, so you get to know them. So if they forget their homework or they just haven't done it for a one-off, the teacher knows that they're usually good, and so we'll be happy to let them have a bit longer or whatever, or ask them to bring it in next time they're in or whatever. But in school there was never that. It was immediate telling off. Okay, we've got our last colour coming, which is our Cobalt Turquoise, and I'm going to go over the top of the blue, the sky blue I think it was, no, cerulean blue light, sorry, and then fade it in. Now at this point you might want to bring in a white to lighten up that centre if it goes too dark. I'm just going to do a light layer all the way to the centre, and then I'm going to try and even it out afterwards. For me, I think that's the easiest. If I get the centre of the light layer, then I can get it sorted after. You'll see what I mean. It's been a while since I've done any videos until today. Now what I'm going to do is go back and just sort of even it out. Because we had had a bank holiday weekend, which is a public holiday for those of you in other countries. Don't quite know what a bank holiday is, just a public holiday. And we had the celebrations for the Queen's Jubilee, which was a lot of fun. And the family were all home, so I didn't do recording, and the children actually had the week before off. So I did do a little bit of recording at times when they were totally absorbed in a game, playing a game or whatever. Then I did a little bit, but I tended not to do very much. It's nice to be with them when they're home. And I'm sort of making the most of them because they're getting older. Right, so now I'm at the point where I'm just going to blend. So I'm going to grab a blending pencil. As I was raving about the Prismas, that's what I'm going to use. This is called their colourless blender. It's PC1077 for those of you who like numbers. And make sure the tip is clean, because it will pick up the colour of the pencil that is blending. And of course on this page it's all blue, that's fine, as long as it's blue on the tip. But I was using, actually I thought I'd been using it for some red, but that was next door at my desk, and I have another one. So I feel a bit spoilt because I have a recording room. I have a duplicate items of some things so that I don't have to keep carrying them back and forth and forgetting them and that sort of thing. So I have two of these, but they come in packs of 2, so it was from the same pack. But it's just nice having a couple of a few duplicates like sharpeners and erasers and things like that, so you don't have to keep going from room to room with them. I did nearly pinch my son's eraser. He's got a Tombow mono eraser, but in the end I got my I've got one, and someone kindly gifted me some spare refills, which was really good. You can just keep blending until you're happy, or add more colour in areas. Sometimes I find the blending pencil takes off some of the colour, so you might want to put a bit more in. Now we've got a bit of a glowy look around the pot, which I quite like, but I can see a layer around here of colour where the Cobalt, the Cerulean blue light and the Cobalt turquoise meet, and I'm coming back in with my Cerulean blue light to just take that in slightly. I just want to try and get rid of that line. Maybe I'm being a bit ultra fussy, but it just really shows up on the camera when I have a peep in the little window where it shows me what I'm recording. So I just want to tidy that up. I feel a bit happier with that, but still not quite how I would like it. Obviously I'm going into that centre, which was just Cobalt turquoise, but I'm okay with that. Now around here I feel I need a bit more colour as well. Now I'm going to try and make sure I get to the edges of all the leaves and petals and things with some blue, but if you don't, you can just keep in mind what colours you've used, and then you can go back and once you colour in the details on the page, you can go back in with the colour and sort of finish it off, like in there. Look, I missed. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, so I'm just going to brush that off. Okay, now the rest of the colours on the page, I think what I'll do is I'll leave that for today, so we've just got background, and I'm going to just take my Tombow Mono eraser and erase where I've gone over the edges of these flowers. I think what I'll do is I'll come back tomorrow and do some of the details. I think it would be rather nice to do the teapot and the flowers and things, even though the stems are all blue, but it doesn't matter because we'll be using green, which covers up blue a little bit, so that's okay. But I thought it might be nice to come back and just show you. I won't do the whole thing because all the flowers and leaves will be the same colours, but do the teapot and we'll do some of the flowers and things and have a go at that. So that's me for today. So I hope that was okay for you, and as I say, I'll be back tomorrow with a bit more. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.